Welcome to Kush News, the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's take a look at today's news on Wednesday, June 26, 2024. Let's go to Kenya, where Ruto withdraws the finance bill signing. On Wednesday, President William Ruto withdrew the controversial finance bill a day after more than 10 protesters were shot dead during demonstrations in the streets of Kenya. Addressing the nation, Ruto said, "I concede," meaning he won't sign the bill into law, he told Kenyans. Ruto said his offer of an engagement with young Kenyans still stands.
Consequently, having reflected on the continuing conversation around the content of the Finance Bill 2024, and listening keenly to the people of Kenya who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 Finance Bill, and it shall subsequently be withdrawn, and I have agreed with these members that that becomes our collective position.
To listen to their views, proposals, concerns, and what they think the government can do better. He also said that he will discuss the country's debt challenges with civil society groups and religious organizations. Speaking about the protests in which several people were shot dead by police, he said, quote unquote, I did promise the country that there would be no extrajudicial killings going forward. And ever since I came into office, there has not been one incident of the same. Those who were kidnapped have since been found in police custody, and those who were already processed have been released. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has called on President William Ruto's administration to immediately halt on what he describes as murders, arrests, and detentions of youths protesting the finance bill. Odinga made these remarks as Kenya is gripped with nationwide protests against proposed tax hikes, accumulating in Tuesday's total shutdown of the country. The protests quickly turned violent as police used tear gas and live rounds of ammunition on demonstrators. Last week, the government scrapped some tax increases, including a proposed 16% tax on bread, along with taxes on motor vehicles, vegetable oil, and mobile money transfers. However, these concessions have not been enough to quell the protests amid the rising cost of living. The controversy over the budget follows other revenue-rising measures introduced by President Ruto himself, including increased taxes for healthcare and low-cost housing. In a statement, Odinga condemned the government's use of force against the peaceful protesters, which has resulted in several deaths. Odinga expressed deep concern over the violent crackdown on young protesters exercising their right to peaceful assembly and freedom of expression. Raila Odinga called for the immediate cessation of police violence and the unconditional withdrawal of the finance bill, urging the government to engage in dialogue. He highlighted the grievances of the protesting youths and emphasized that their demands for food, jobs, and fair hearing should not be met with brutality. Odinga has also called on international bodies such as the East African Community and the African Union to intervene and address the unfolding situation. Those in Kenya, let us know your thoughts on Ruto refusing to sign the finance bill. Also, let us know on if you think that there is a larger plan that Ruto has. Also, let us know where you think that Ruto what he should do. Should he stay in office? Should he resign? Do you see that coming? Let's go to Uganda, where protests at the Chinese embassy had taken place. A group of protesters in Uganda was marching toward the Chinese embassy to deliver a petition seeking to stop the construction of the East African crude oil pipeline. Police in Kampala apprehended 30 individuals for engaging in unlawful demonstrations against the construction. The arrests included students and other community members. Kampala Metropolitan Police Deputy spokesperson stated that the suspects, 21 males and 9 females, are being held at the Jinja Road police station. The group was marching towards the Chinese embassy to deliver a petition seeking to stop the construction of the pipeline. Students began a peaceful demonstration at around 10 a.m., marching towards the Chinese embassy in Kololo. Some held banners, place cards, and hard copies of the petition while chanting pipeline. Bob Barige, one of the student leaders, said that they were going to the embassy to meet the ambassador on behalf of all Ugandans, especially the youth who had been affected by the project. Yuda Kaye, a student from Makerere Business School, said that once the pipeline is constructed, it will threaten the region's biodiversity as it passes through national parks. He said that this greatly contributes to the mass extinction of the most endangered species like the great apes and puts their survival at risk. In their petition, the students, joined by other community members, urged the Chinese embassy and government to refrain from funding the pipeline construction, which they argue is dangerous to Uganda and the entire region. The officers, backed up by their counterparts from the Field Force Unit, engaged the youth, and when the two sides failed to agree, violence ensued. The police spokesperson stated that the individuals were involved in an unlawful assembly, holding place cards that read "No to Oil." He urged the public to remain calm and follow legal procedures for any form of protest or assembly. The arrests follow a similar incident back on May 29th when the same students marched to Parliament and petitioned the Speaker over the same issue. Those in Uganda, let us know your thoughts on the protest of the pipeline, the East African crude oil pipeline in Uganda. Let us know your thoughts about it. Were these protesters taking it too far? Do you think police took it too far? Let us know where you stand on this entire situation. Let's go to the Caribbean and end it there. We go to Haiti, where Kenyan police have arrived. Haiti's Prime Minister Gary Conille has vowed to end lawlessness with the help of the Kenyan-led international force deployed to the Caribbean nation. The arrival of 400 Kenyan police officers in the country is the first of an international force, and it's a unique opportunity, he stated, to restore order. Rocked by decades of instability, Haiti has seen an escalation of violence following the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse 3 years ago.
Et finalement, matin, nous voyons que force internationale est là pour venir accompagner nous et supporter force police nous. Nous allons commencer à travailler petit pour nous reprendre le pays nous.
United States President Joe Biden welcomed the deployment, saying that the Kenyan-led mission offered the best chance to achieve democratic governance in Haiti. There has been fierce opposition in Kenya to the deployment. One reason is because police are accused of brutality in their own country. The latest example is being the fatal shooting of protesters in the capital of Nairobi on Tuesday. The unrest in Nairobi came a day after President William Ruto saw off the officers in what he described as a historic mission of solidarity. Rival groups in Haiti took control of the capital Port-au-Prince earlier this year, forcing then Prime Minister Ariel Henry to resign. Armed rebels now control an estimated 80% of the capital. A robust use of force is needed to tackle them, says the UN, which has now approved a police mission made up of 2,500 officers from various countries, including 1,000 from the country of Kenya. Working with the Haitian police and headquartered at a U.S. base, the Kenyan officers will aim to take back key sites that have fallen under the control of anti-government rebels, including the nearby airport and the seaports. Haiti has not had an election since 2016, so elections are to be organized within a year. And to allow that to happen, the Kenyan-led mission is being tasked with restoring security. Their deployment has been authorized for 1 year, with the review to be held after 9 months. Those in Haiti, let us know your thoughts on Kenyan police arriving in your guys' country. Are you for it? Are you against it? Do you also see elections happening within the next year? When we come back, we'll have today's African proverb of the day. Don't go anywhere.
New release of the Spring Summer collection, Visit www.mccadero.com.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at today's African proverb of the day. It comes to us from Kenya. Viva Kenya. What's going on, you guys? And it reads, no matter how tall your grandfather is, you have to do your own growing. Once again, no matter how tall your grandfather is, you have to do your own growing. Kenyan proverb. Woo! Yeah, let me talk to my fellas. What's going on, fellas? This is talking directly to you. It's saying that, no matter what has been accomplished before you, you got to do things yourself because you're a man. You got to set things apart. You got to build your own legacy. It's nice not, to have a legacy built by your dad, your uncle with the wooden leg, your grandpa. But, it's also very imperative that, you have your own legacy. So let's say like your dad was a mechanic and he owned his own mechanic shop. Now, does that mean that you automatically are a mechanic? No! Who told you that? Who told you that? Huh? You gotta build it yourself. Whatever it is. Let's say, your grandfather was really into exercise. Does that mean that you are automatically a personal trainer? No. Show the results. You can't be walking around with a beer belly and saying that, oh, my grandfather was the best weightlifter ever. But you got a beer belly. You ain't been hitting them weights. You've been hitting them six packs. Let me know your interpretation of today's African proverb of the day, as well as your thoughts, views, questions, comments, and concerns on the top stories. Don't forget to hit that like button. Make it your best friend for Kush News on Kush Convos TV. I'm Ochanda. We'll see you soon.